All right. Have you ever wanted to just click a button and suddenly have thousands of people looking at your website?
Uh-huh. Who hasn't?
Yeah, I mean, that's like the dream run.
Yeah.
Well, today we're going to take a deep dive into a system called Mail Your Offer 25, which promises to do exactly that.
Oh, wow.
It claims to email a link to your website to more than 35,000 people
Every day.
every single day for an entire year.
Seriously?
And get this, the whole thing costs less than $10.
You're kidding me.
Nope, less than 10 bucks. So obviously we're going to have to see if this is for real or just another scam.
Right.
To help us do that, I brought in an expert who knows pretty much everything when it comes to online marketing.
Well, I wouldn't say everything.
Uh-huh. Fair enough. So what do you think about this Mail Your Offer 25 system?
Honestly, my first thought is that if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah, but still it's pretty tempting.
Oh, absolutely. Especially if you're just getting started with your online business.
I mean, think about it. 35,000 potential customers every single day.
It's a huge number.
And the creator of Mail Your Offer 25, Dawood Islam, says he's targeting all sorts of people, stay-at-home parents, students, business owners, really anyone who might be interested in making money online.
Okay, but that actually raises some red flags for me.
Really? How so?
Well, when you're trying to market your product or service, it's not just about reaching a large audience. You need to reach the right audience.
So you're saying that just because 35,000 people see your website doesn't mean they'll be interested in what you're selling?
Exactly. Think of it like this. If you're selling fishing gear, you wouldn't advertise in a magazine for knitters.
Okay, that makes sense.
You need to make sure your message is getting in front of the people who are actually likely to buy from you.
So how does this Mail Your Offer 25 system even work? Does it just send out one giant email with everyone's links in it?
It's a little more complicated than that. It uses what they call a rotator system. It's kind of like a raffle.
A raffle?
Yeah, imagine you have a bunch of different websites all written on slips of paper, and those slips go into a hat.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
Now, when someone clicks on the link in the email from Mail Your Offer 25, it's like they're reaching into that hat and pulling out a random slip of paper.
So they might not end up on my website even if they click the link.
Right. They could end up on any of the websites in the rotator.
So I'm not actually guaranteed 35,000 visits to my website each day.
Not necessarily. It depends on how many other websites are in the rotator and how lucky you get with the random selection process.
Interesting. So even if I do get some traffic from this system, I'm also competing with all those other websites for attention.
Exactly.
Now, something else that caught my eye is that Dawood Islam, the guy who created Mail Your Offer 25, is really emphasizing that there's no bot traffic. He even puts it in all caps on the sales page. Absolutely and no bot traffic clicks.
Well, I guess that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, but I'm wondering how he can guarantee that. I mean, how can you really be sure that all the clicks are coming from real people?
That's a tough one. There are a lot of ways to fake traffic using bots, which are basically computer programs that mimic human behavior online.
So it's possible that some of the traffic from Mail Your Offer 25 could actually be coming from bots?
It's hard to say for sure without more information.
I guess that's where things get tricky. I mean, how can you really verify these claims about no bot traffic?
That's a really good question, and we're going to get into that more in the next part of our deep dive.
Sounds good. Now, before we move on, is there anything else we should know about Mail Your Offer 25 before we start digging into those claims?
Well, I think it's important to remember that just getting people to your website isn't enough.
Right. You need to actually convert those visitors into customers.
Exactly. So even if Mail Your Offer 25 does what it says and sends thousands of people to your website, you still need to have a compelling offer and a website that's designed to convert visitors into buyers.
Makes sense. So it's not as simple as just clicking a button and watching the money roll in.
No.
Haha. Yeah, I guess that would be too easy. Okay, so we've learned a lot about Mail Your Offer 25 so far, but there's still a lot more to unpack.
Right, we've only just scratched the surface.
In the next part of our deep dive, we'll be taking a closer look at those claims about no bot traffic, and we'll also be talking about the potential risks and rewards of using a system like this.
It's going to be interesting.
Absolutely. So make sure you stick around for part 2 of our deep dive into Mail Your Offer 25.
We'll see you there. Welcome back to our deep dive on Mail Your Offer 25.
Now, before the break, we were talking about how important it is to make sure you're reaching the right people with your marketing.
Exactly. You could have 1 million people visiting your website,
Right.
but if none of them are actually interested in what you're selling,
Yeah.
it's not going to do you much good.
It's like that saying you can lead a horse to water.
Right.
but you can't make a drink.
Exactly. So how do you make sure you're leading the right horses to water, so to speak?
I like that analogy.
Well, it all starts with understanding your target audience.
Okay, so how do you do that?
It's all about market research. You need to figure out who your ideal customer is, their age, their interests, their problems, their aspirations.
So like if I'm selling gardening tools,
Right.
my target audience would probably be people who enjoy gardening.
Exactly. So you wouldn't want to waste your time and money advertising to people who live in apartments and have no interest in plants.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But how do you know if the people on this mail your offer 25 list are even my target audience? I mean, Dawood Islam says he's targeting everyone.
That's a good point, and it's definitely something to be wary of. I mean, how can one system possibly be effective for every single type of business out there?
It does seem a little too good to be true.
Right. And that's why it's so important to do your own due diligence. Before you sign up for any kind of marketing service, you need to make sure that it's actually going to reach the people who are most likely to be interested in what you have to offer.
Okay, so let's say I've done my research and I've decided that mail your offer 25 isn't the right fit for my business. What are some other options for getting my message in front of the right people?
Well, there are a lot of different strategies out there, and the best approach for you will depend on your specific business and goals.
I see.
Some popular options include content marketing, social media marketing, search engine optimization, paid advertising, and influencer marketing.
Wow, that's a lot to consider.
It can be overwhelming.
But it sounds like there are a lot of different ways to reach your target audience without relying on a system like Mail Your Offer 25.
Exactly. And I think it's important to remember that there's no magic bullet when it comes to online marketing.
Right.
The key is to find a strategy that works for you and to be consistent with your efforts.
So no matter what approach you choose, it's going to take some time and effort to build a successful online presence.
Absolutely. There's no such thing as an overnight success.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly. And speaking of effort, let's talk about those fast action bonuses that come with Mail Your Offer 25. Remember those?
Oh, yeah, with the crazy names.
Animal Kingdom Anarchy, Crypto Crackers.
Yeah. What are those all about?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Are they actually valuable resources that align with the main offer's target audience? Or are they just there to create a sense of urgency and incentivize people to buy?
I mean, they sound pretty interesting.
They do, don't they? But you have to wonder if they're just flashy add-ons designed to make the offer seem more appealing.
So it's like a bonus that's not really a bonus.
Exactly, and that's why it's so important to be critical and to do your own research. Don't just take things at face value. Look into those bonuses, see what they're actually about, and decide for yourself if there's something that would be valuable to you.
It's like anything else. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Exactly. Now, I know we talked about the low price of Mail Your Offer 25 before.
Right, less than $10.
And I'm sure some people are thinking, well, it's only $10. What do I have to lose?
It's tempting, for sure.
But I think it's important to remember that time is money, too.
Right.
If you invest your time and energy into a system that doesn't deliver results, that's a cost in itself.
So you're saying that even if it's only $10, it's still not worth it if it's not going to help you achieve your goals.
Right. And there's also the potential legal implications to consider. We briefly mentioned the terms and conditions earlier, but it's worth emphasizing that you should always read those carefully before making any purchase online.
Yeah, those things are usually full of legal jargon.
But they contain important information about your rights and responsibilities as a consumer.
So, like, what kind of things should people be looking for in the terms and conditions?
Well, for example, they'll outline the terms of the money-back guarantee, if there is one.
Okay.
They'll also include any disclaimers or limitations of liability.
Right. So you know what you're getting into.
Exactly, and they might also have information about how your data is being used and protected.
So it's really important to take the time to read those terms and conditions, even if they seem boring.
Absolutely. It's better to be safe than sorry.
All right, so we've talked about the importance of understanding your target audience, the various marketing strategies available, the value of the bonus offers, the need for critical thinking, and the legal considerations.
It's a lot to take in.
Is there anything else people should keep in mind when evaluating Mail Your Offer 25?
Well, one thing we haven't discussed yet is the concept of click-through rates and conversion ratios.
Click-through rates and conversion ratios. Those sound kind of technical. Can you explain what those are?
Sure. Click-through rate, or CTR for short, is basically the percentage of people who see your ad or link and actually click on it.
Okay.
So it's a measure of how effective your ad is at grabbing people's attention and making them want to learn more.
So a higher click-through rate means more people are clicking on your link.
Exactly. And then you have conversion rate, which is the percentage of people who click on your link and then actually do what you want them to do on your website.
Like make a purchase or sign up for an email list.
Right. So if 100 people click on your link and 10 of them buy something from your website,
Okay.
your conversion rate would be 10%.
I see. So even if Mail Your Offer 25 does send a ton of traffic to my website,
Right.
if my click-through rate is terrible, I'm not going to get very many visitors in the first place.
Exactly. And even if you do get a decent amount of traffic, if your conversion rate is low, those visitors aren't going to do anything to help your business.
They'll just leave without buying anything or signing up for anything.
Right. They're just bouncing off your website.
So it's not just about getting people to your website, it's about getting them to take action once they're there.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to have a well-designed website that's optimized for conversions.
So what are some things people can do to improve their click-through rates and conversion rates?
Well, when it comes to click-through rates, the key is to have a compelling headline and ad copy that really resonates with your target audience.
Okay.
You need to make it clear what you're offering and why people should care.
So like what problem are you solving for them?
Right. Or what benefit are you providing?
I see. And what about conversion rates? How do you get people to take action once they're on your website?
That's where things like strong calls to action, testimonials, and clear value propositions come in.
A strong call to action like buy now or sign up today.
Right. You need to make it clear what you want people to do and make it easy for them to do it.
And testimonials, those are like reviews from other customers.
Exactly. They show potential customers that other people have had success with your product or service.
Okay. And a clear value proposition that's like explaining why your product is better than the competition.
Exactly. You need to give people a reason to choose you over everyone else.
I see. So even with a system like Mail Your Offer 25, success really comes down to having a solid marketing strategy and understanding how to convert visitors into customers.
Absolutely. There's no shortcut to success online.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
We talked about the promises of Mail Your Offer 25, the potential drawbacks, the importance of targeting the right audience, click-through rates, conversion rates, and so much more.
It's been a really thorough deep dive.
I hope our listeners have learned a lot and that they're feeling more confident about navigating the world of online marketing.
Me too.
But before we wrap things up, I want to leave you with one final thought. Remember, building a successful online presence takes time and effort.
Right.
There are no quick fixes or magic bullets.
It's a journey.
Exactly. So be patient, be persistent, and always be learning and growing.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Mail Your Offer 25.
It's been a pleasure being here.
And make sure to check out our other deep dives, where we explore a wide range of topics related to online business and marketing.
We'll be back soon with more.
Until then, keep on learning, keep on growing, and keep on reaching for your goals.